In the small town of Willow Creek, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, the Staudy family was once considered pillars of the community. They were wealthy landowners with a sprawling estate at the edge of town, known for their generosity during harvest festivals and holiday celebrations. But beneath their polished exterior lay a web of secrets, so dark that it would eventually unravel everything they had built. The disappearance. It all began on a cold November night in 2005. Margaret Staudy, the matriarch of the family, went missing without a trace. Her husband, Charles Staudy, a stern but respected businessman, reported her disappearance to the police after finding her car abandoned near the woods behind their property. At first, the townsfolk whispered sympathetically, assuming she had fallen victim to foul play or wandered off in confusion. But as days turned into weeks, suspicion began to creep into the investigation. Margaret's sister, Evelyn, came forward claiming that Margaret had confided in her about feeling trapped in her marriage. She said Charles controlled every aspect of her life. Evelyn told investigators she wanted out. The revelation sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community. Was this a case of domestic strife gone wrong, or something more sinister? The family divided. As detectives dug deeper, cracks in the Staudy family facade began to show. Their two adult children, Victoria and Thomas, became central figures in the investigation. Victoria, the eldest, was a high-powered attorney living in the city. She returned home reluctantly, insisting that her father couldn't possibly harm her mother. Yet rumors swirled that Victoria had been estranged from her parents for years due to a bitter inheritance dispute. Thomas, the younger sibling, stayed closer to home, working on the family farm. He seemed distraught over his mother's disappearance, but some neighbors recalled seeing him arguing heatedly with Margaret just days before she vanished. When questioned, Thomas claimed they'd fought over money. He accused her of favoring Victoria in their father's will, but he vehemently denied any involvement in her disappearance. Meanwhile, Charles maintained his innocence, though his alibi for the night of Margaret's disappearance was shaky at best. He claimed to have been alone in his study, going over business documents. No one could corroborate his story. The hidden room. Months passed with no sign of Margaret. Then, in early 2006, a breakthrough came when a maintenance worker repairing the basement furnace stumbled upon a hidden room behind a false wall. Inside, authorities found chilling evidence: blood-stained clothing, personal belongings belonging to Margaret, and a journal written in her handwriting. The journal revealed a harrowing tale of abuse and manipulation. Margaret wrote about enduring decades of emotional torment at the hands of Charles, who she described as controlling and volatile. In her final entries, she expressed fear for her life, hinting that someone close to her might try to silence her permanently. The discovery shocked the town and shifted the focus of the investigation squarely onto Charles. But there were inconsistencies. While the blood matched Margaret's DNA, there was no body, and forensic experts noted that the blood appeared to have been planted recently, raising questions about whether someone was trying to frame Charles. Betrayal within. As tensions mounted, another bombshell dropped. Thomas confessed to detectives that he had helped his father cover up Margaret's murder. According to Thomas, Charles had flown into a rage during one of their arguments, accidentally killing Margaret in the heat of the moment. Panicked, they buried her body deep in the woods and staged her disappearance to buy time. But Thomas's confession didn't fully align with the evidence. Why would Charles risk planting damning evidence in the hidden room if he believed he had gotten away with the crime? And why did Victoria suddenly cut ties with her father, refusing to speak to him even after his arrest? The trial. The trial captivated the nation. Prosecutors painted Charles as a calculating monster who orchestrated his wife's death to maintain control of the family fortune. Defense attorneys argued that Thomas acted alone, manipulating the evidence to protect himself while pinning the blame on his father. Victoria took the stand reluctantly, revealing that she had uncovered financial records showing large sums of money being funneled into offshore accounts under Thomas's name. She accused him of plotting to seize the family estate by eliminating both parents, one through violence, the other through imprisonment. In the end, the jury delivered a split verdict. Charles was convicted of manslaughter for his role in Margaret's death, while Thomas was sentenced to life in prison for tampering with evidence and conspiracy to commit murder. Victoria walked away unscathed, but forever haunted by the destruction of her family. Unanswered questions. Though justice was served, many questions remained unanswered. Where was Margaret's body? Had Thomas truly acted alone, or was Victoria involved in ways she never admitted? And what drove a seemingly idyllic family to such depths of depravity? To this day, the Staudy family case serves as a grim reminder that even the most picturesque lives can hide unimaginable darkness. In Willow Creek, the Staudy estate stands empty, its grand halls echoing with the ghosts of a tragedy that shook the town to its core.